Welcome to Hack Your Mind. The mental disease known as borderline personality disorder is frequently misunderstood in modern society. The associations made with BPD symptoms are often frightening. They include self-injurious behavior, suicidal behavior, and difficulties establishing interpersonal relationships. Even though these behaviors are considered among the many indicators of BPD, the vast majority of people are unaware that they are the outcome of significant arches and worries on the individual's part. Be nice to yourself as a progress in establishing whether or not you may have a borderline personality disorder. Remember that help is accessible to you at any point during this process. Even though it impacts you, the illness will never define who you are. The following are some examples of indications and symptoms associated with borderline personality disorder. Number 1. You have a terrible fear of being alone and of being turned down. The defining characteristic of borderline personality disorder is an intense and irrational fear of rejection and abandonment. It is not always the case that an individual with a borderline personality disorder also has post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD due to abandonment experiences, such as adoption. This overwhelming fear is often the driving force behind all other borderline behaviors. Your boyfriend going out for drinks with his friends after work could cause these apprehensions. Alternatively, a friend's request to reschedule dinner due to illness could be the source of these apprehensions as well. It is possible that other people will consider them mundane, unimportant incidents and have difficulty understanding why they have caused you emotional distress. This may cause rifts in your relationship and make you feel even more isolated and misunderstood. Your anxiety could present itself as rage, an excessive need to be close to others, or an effort to sabotage the plans of those you care about. If you get help, you can learn to understand and communicate your worries in a way that will strengthen your relationship rather than cause it to suffer. You can learn these skills very quickly. Number 2. The actions of pulling and pushing. Continually pulling someone into a close relationship and then pushing them away is one of the most common indicators of borderline personality disorder. It makes it difficult for the individual to comprehend the role that they play in the connection. If you have BPD, a standard theory about why you would have participate in this behavior is that you urgently need intimacy in your relationships, but out of fear of being abandoned, choose to reject this person first. This theory is widely held. The tragedy of this pattern is that the person you care about could feel so emotionally drained, confused, and disappointed due to these acts, they might decide to end the unhealthy relationship due to these feelings. This lends credence to your erroneous negative beliefs, such as the notion that you have no value, that you are undeserving of meaningful relationships, and that people will eventually stop caring about you. Therefore, the vicious cycle of misery goes on. Number 3. Difficulties in compartmentalizing time for work, school, and other activities. Even if you have a rational understanding that day-to-day activities like going to school or working are necessary, the dread of being abandoned might be so high that it causes you to resist being separated from a person you care about. Because of the depth of this fear, you may blame a loved one for prioritizing their career and schooling above spending time with you. People who suffer from BPD experience this kind of thing on a very consistent basis. Number 4. Setting high standards for both yourself and the people around you. People who suffer from BPD tend to have high standards for themselves and others, which can sometimes be quite unreasonable. When these expectations are not met, you could have a momentary perception that you or the person who did not live up to your standards is evil. You may choose to punish yourself by engaging in self-destructive behavior when you cannot meet the unrealistic standards you have set for yourself. If you feel that another person has let you down or failed to live up to your standards, you may decide to take a step back from your relationship with them temporarily. People who suffer from BPD may see it as a severe transgression, something others consider a minor slip-up that can be overlooked. You might hold a grudge for a few days or until the perpetrator has fully apologized to you, or whichever comes first. Number 5. A period of intense sadness. The conditions of bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder are commonly confused. Even though the two diseases are distinct, the symptoms of BPD include such erratic mood swings and intense depression are sometimes confused with those of bipolar disorder. The difference between the two is highlighted by the fact that an episode of profound melancholy in a person with bipolar disorder typically lasts for a more extended period, at least a few days, and comes on unexpectedly. On the other hand, a person who has a borderline personality disorder may go through sudden swings of profound depression, the root of which is typically a conflict within their marriage. Number 6. Mood in fluctuations ranging from intense feelings to erratic states of mind. If you have a BPD, it does not mean that you feel emotions differently from others. Rather, it indicates that you occasionally experience feelings that are larger or more intense than those touched by most people. They may be so fierce that you cut yourself or engage in other unhealthy behaviors in an effort to lessen or gain control over the sensations. Your disposition can shift at any time, and the change may be prompted by an event that is so inconspicuous that you might not even be aware it has occurred. You are keenly aware of the danger, despair, anger, or joy you are experiencing. Even though these sensations could last for as long as a few days, they will likely disappear just as quickly as they appeared. This may cause misunderstanding among the people around you. Imagine that you yelled at your roommate and referred to him as a poor buddy, and that he left the house as a result of your behavior. The anger subsides as soon as he leaves the room. When he returns home an hour later, he can be irritated that you want things to return to normal after the disagreement so quickly. Alternatively, you may need to understand why he or she is so attached to the things that happened in the past. These intense feelings that come and go so quickly can have a terrible impact on the people you care about if they are allowed to go unchecked. Number 7. Rash, self-destructive behaviors. If you have BPD, you may engage in risky behaviors motivated by a desire for sensation, mainly when upset. You may binge eat, drive dangerously, steal from stores, have unsafe sexual encounters, overindulge in alcohol or drugs, participate in unsafe sex, or spend money that you do not have. It is possible that engaging in these risky behaviors will temporarily improve how you feel. Still, they'll be bad for your health and others around you in the long run. Number 8. Insecure relationships. People with borderline personality disorder tend to have intense but fleeting relationships. It is possible for you to quickly fall in love, thinking that each new person is the one who will finally make you feel whole, only to be instantly disappointed when you realize that none of them is. Your connections seem either wonderful or terrible, with no room for improvement. As a result of the rapid transitions you make between idealization and devaluation, rage and hatred, the people closest to you, including your lovers, friends, and family, may feel an emotional whiplash. Number 9. Prone to frustration. If you have borderline personality disorder, you may be quickly frustrated by the people around you, even those closest to you and whom you care the most about. It's possible for you to feel frustrated when things in your relationship don't go the way you'd hope they would. Your anger is probably a manifestation of the frustrations you've been feeling. Number 10. Self-image that is unclear or fluctuating. A person who suffers from BPD frequently struggles with their sense of identity. At times, you could have a favorable opinion of yourself. In contrast, at other times, you might negatively view yourself or even think yourself as evil. Neither your identity nor the things you want to do in life may be crystal clear. As a result, you might switch jobs, friends, loves, religions, beliefs, goals, and even your sexual identity frequently. Number 11. Continuous sense of emptiness. People with BPD typically report feeling empty within, as if they were a hole or void within them. In extreme circumstances, you could have the impression that you are nothing or nobody. This is an uncomfortable experience. As a result, you can try to fill the void by engaging in sexual activity, using narcotics, or binge eating. But there is nothing that can truly fulfill a person's soul. Number 12. Feeling skeptical or detached from reality. Derealization. Similar to depersonalization, derealization is a feeling of being detached from the external world, which can include other people or objects. Familiar things can look strange, unreal, or familiar. Derealization and depersonalization can occur, often at the same time. The world may seem distorted and unreal, as if you're observing it through a veil. You may feel as if a glass wall is separating you from people you care about. This aspect of disassociation can also create distortions in vision and other senses. If you can add to this list or can give us some more information about borderline personality disorder, then do let us know in the comment section below. That's all for today. See you next time.